Shalom and welcome to another edition of our Daily Bread on Messianic Torah. And this week's Parashat is the second Parashat of the book of Shemot, also called Exodus, and it's called Vayero, which means and I appeared. And this segment is called Living the Parashat. And basically what we do is we talk about the weekly Parashat, or portion, and we snag some things out of there and then try and see how we can apply them to our daily lives so that we're no longer just reading stories of things that happened in the past, but that we're able to live them in the present and breathe life into them in the current time. So this one that I'm looking at here is called, for 2014-15, this one's called, it's just a 5-minute video by the way, it's a process. So if we look at the 4 cups in Exodus 6:6, where we get the 4 cups for Passover, the concept behind that comes from this verse in Exodus 6:6. And I believe that it is the 4-part plan of God as well. And it says basically, saying to the children, I am Yahuwah, I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrayim. I will rid you out of their bondage. I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and great judgments. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be your Elohim. Okay, so those are the 4 parts. And you'll notice that you're going to, it's a process. That he doesn't just take them out from the bondage and then say, all right, you're my people now, do whatever you want. And he didn't just take them out of Mitzrayim and then take them into the promised land. He took them out of Mitzrayim and then he gave the law. That's what happened. And then he tested them on the law, and only the ones who would obey were allowed to go into the kingdom. Okay? So there's a process. And even redemption was also in there. When he took their children instead of them. That was payment. What the adults deserved was death. But he redeemed them by giving them a second opportunity by taking their children, who they said would be a prey. So you can see, not just in what he said he was going to do, but you can see that he did it. Right? Because this is also prophetic. So he did take them out of Mitzrayim. And then, when he gives them the law, that's how he rids the bondage of Mitzrayim, which is sin, from them. But then, most of them wouldn't obey the law, but he redeemed them with their children. And then it was those children that went in to dwell with God. This is a process. And it's a fundamental process, so it's good for people to learn. Because many times people get to the New Testament, they want to talk about salvation. They want to talk about what's it all about, where do works come into play? Is it works or faith or all these different arguments? And what they really fail to understand is the 4-part plan of God, and they fail to understand the basics that we've already been taught in that process of bringing the children of Israel out of Mitzrayim. As a matter of fact, it encompasses, right? It encompasses the holy days. Starting with Passover, coming out of Mitzrayim, all the way to dwelling in the wilderness, in the temporary dwelling, right? When they didn't have a home yet, all the way to the permanent, dwelling with God, right? The last great day of Sukkot. Rejoicing in the Torah. Like all that is all in that pattern too. So you got to learn the basic patterns. And it's a process. So the problem with with Christianity is they often, say one sinner's prayer and we're done. They don't have a process. It's a 1-part process, but God has a 4-part process. And actually, even in their 1 part, they came out of Mitzrayim, right? And that's a model of sin. So they say a sinner's prayer, but they never get the law. They're never therefore redeemed. They're not actually, in my opinion, probably going to go into the kingdom then, because the pattern stays the same. They're going to just be some that came out of Mitzrayim and then died in the wilderness for rejecting God's law. The 4-part pattern. You're somewhere in there. You're somewhere along there. Make sure you get to the end. That's the good part, right? That you will be my people, right? He's going to take you to him to be a people, and he will be your Elohim. Don't stop too soon. If you haven't completed all those parts, then keep going. Okay? So, till next time, I'm going to say shalom. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and think on this through the week. And loveatorah.com is our website.